I'm done. I have completed what most adult collectors can't say. I have finished a toy collection. That's right, no more. At least when it comes to Thundercats. The last two pieces of my Thundercats collection have arrived, so let's review, reveal, and compare them up next on PopCon. Welcome back to PopCon, everybody. I am your Gen X host, Victor, and yeah, I'm super excited. A lot of people are surprised to know that I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew exactly what characters I needed to represent my Thundercat love for the toy shelf behind me. So this is it. And Super7 made some fantastic entries. They hit it out of the ballpark with some great characters. And although I have a few complaints with the Chitara piece, overall, this line is ultimate, as they say. And I have my last two pieces. I have Bengali the Thundercat, and I have Vultureman the Mutant. I loved these characters a lot. I like to see them on the show a lot more than some other ones. So it's fitting and a little bit unfair that I had to wait to the very end to get these guys. Okay, let's begin this with a little study of their packages. Let's get it on. Let's start with the toy logo, Ultimates. That is Super7's Ultimates Thundercats. That's on the top of the box. And on the back of all the boxes is this very shiny Thundercats logo. It's really gorgeous, but on the other side, it depends on if it's a Thundercat or a mutant, but here it is in foil, this great Thundercat logo. And this is, of course, Bengali's box. Slip the slip cover off, and on the back, you get my favorite part, original artwork with the Super7 logo on the bottom. You get a nice readout about his life, who he is, and what Bengali is all about. Now, when it comes to Vultureman, you get Mum Ra's symbol, all the mutants do, and there it is in foil, the two snakes at the bottom. You see his name, Vultureman, sneaking out, but then you slip that cover off, and again, you get some original artwork. This is my favorite. There was a group shot as well, but I really like these beautiful detailed artwork, plus the write-up on the character themselves. So, great job on the artwork. Let's move on. And I do love the box. We've already taken a look at them, so of course that's why they were out. But let's go ahead and take a look, because I want to open these up. We're going to start with Bengali right here. Bengali, the Thundercat Forge. We already saw the back and read that, so I came with my trusty scissors. So to make this a little less violent, as you guys know, I don't keep boxes. I do like to let my toys out. These guys still have their window boxes, and look at all the stuff in there. So Bengali, he's a pretty robust kind of barrel-chested guy, isn't he? Okay, so sliding out, what's great about the Thundercats is there's no legal paperwork. There aren't directions or instructions, just the beautifully made action figure with all of the extra parts. We can see the forge, we can see the extra head. So we can see these pieces here. And what I also love is there's just one tie, one plastic tie in the back. All right, so here's a Vultureman again with the mutant symbol. We're gonna slide the slip cover off to reveal this massive Birdman. He's no attorney at law, that's for sure. I love this alternate head. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna use the open beak on the display, but you see a lot of his weapons and a lot of other accessories as the mechanic. We've already seen the back as well, so I'm just gonna go pop open the Super7 box here and slide the Vultureman out. Before we get the closer look, because you know that's coming up, my favorite part is the comparison with the animation models, comparison with the original toys from the 80s. But we are going to get a close look at how beautifully detailed these guys are, upcoming on Carousel. It's time. Bengali is one of my favorite designed Thundercats. He's, of course, a Bengal tiger and an albino tiger as well. You can see with these light colors he's got. Nothing to do with ice, nothing to do with snow or cold. If you haven't seen my Thundercats in real life show, you should look that up, where you can see all of these characters and their real life counterparts. Now notice where his Thundercat symbol is. He is the only one that doesn't have its center. He has it up off to his right on the strap. I love the look. It's a very dynamic. The colors of blue really pop. What I don't like about these is the hands. How many hands can you have? That is just so many options and offerings, and as collectors, we're just gonna pick some hands and put the rest away. So they could probably reduce the cost, without all that. He also comes with a pedestal and an anvil because he is the Thundercat's Forge. Using the hammer in his hand, he did forge the Sword of Omens again once it was broken. He also comes with this fantastic alternate head. It's kind of got some glowing eyes and that snarl when he is called to battle. So overall, he's got everything he should. He looks wonderful, even if he has an overdose of hands that are no reason for that. All the Thundercats Ultimates have fantastic articulation. They've got it in the knees. They've got swivel in their shin. Of course, the up and down of the foot and the swivel. The arms have everything you think they would, from the wrist to the forearm to up and down. And the head, it does go up and down, not as far as right and left, but it works great. The chest is phenomenal movement, as well as the waist. So here, overall, he's got all the posability I think he needs. He is a really well done design, and love that face sculpt. Here he is with the alternate head on, a little bit more in action pose, like he's about to forge the Sword of Omens. You can see it glowing red. You can also see one of the strangest accessories, pieces of ore. That's what these lumps of ore are, one on the anvil and one loose. He also has a great holster that's very tight. The hammer can fit in it, but it is tight. Now, the only other thing I want to point out is this little bit of paint on his blue. It's like a little white drop, but I don't get outraged, and I'm not angry about it. No big deal to me. It's there, but here he is with all of his accessories. Pretty awesome. The overall look is wonderful, including this little design on his hair. What a great little detail. So that's Bengali. Let's move on to the mutant. Vultureman is tall. He is a big guy and very unique because he's the only character with 3 fingers. He's the only one with 2 toes as well. Disgusting as well as awesome, right? So it holds that claw weapon really well. This is a great looking figure, and he is big, which I love a great deal. As a matter of fact, show you here in the comparison between Bengali's extra hands with his. They're large hands, so he's a big bird. Not Big Bird, he's just a big bird. The skirt is plastic and very pliable, which is very nice, but you can look around and see the detail here in this character. And as usual, with all Thundercat Ultimates, he comes with 8 trillion hands. Okay, only 6, but the truth is, it just feels like they could keep the cost down by not having so many hand options. But he does have a lot of weaponry. He has that big rifle that matches the pistol already in his hand. He comes with the alternate closed mouth head, and as an inventor he also comes with some goggles, a little steampunky too. But I prefer the open mouth head we're seeing here. Here's this other gun. It's very Flash Gordon. It's kind of fun, but it is an alternate and an optional weapon, which I like a lot more than hands. Now here's some other things that you can just lose really easily. A screwdriver, a wrench, and some sort of pliers. Very small tools, as he was the mechanic and inventor, so I'll just put them in the pile there. I'll show you that a little close up in a moment. And this, taken directly from an episode of Thundercats, the Superpower Potion. If it was just that easy to take a little potion and be a superhero. So there he is. I also see the gorgeous detail on the fur and the spikes on the back of his legs. Very bird-like, very vulture-like, with all of that fur off his neck and his shoulders. So I did put him in another pose. Here he is with the alternate closed mouth head, wearing the goggles. The goggles are pretty cool, man. And I do like that. I'll probably keep the open mouth, but you can see all these great accessories from the extra weapons here. A lot of great stuff. You know, albeit millions of hands that are so much extra in this series of toys, I like all the options you can have, and they're so posable. The skirt has slits up the side, which is really smart for an action figure with such posability, because you can move a lot better. So they learned a great deal that it doesn't hinder the movement. So what do you think of these guys? You're gonna run out and get them? Maybe you already do. These are my last figures, and I love them. Let me know what you think about them in the comments. So are you like me? Do you take your action figures off of the wall? Dust them, of course, but do you transform them? Do you repose them? I certainly do. And I know if you're like me, you want to see shows like this. So please click the like button to help YouTube show this kind of video to other like-minded viewers like yourself and like me. And while you're there, press subscribe. All right, let's get back to the review. It's time for my favorite part, the comparison. You know, I love that modern action figures have taken these wonderful characters we've known and loved for years, and they have changed the way they make them. They're so different. They've come a long way since the 80s. So this is Bengali as he looks like today at the Thundercats Ultimate Action Figure. But let's look at what he looked as on TV in the Thundercats series in the 80s, as well as the first incarnation and the only, for a long time, of the character in his toy form at the same time. Come a long way. Love the modern take. Let's do the same with Vultureman here. Definitely see him in his modern look, modern view. Yeah, you still know exactly who he is when you look at the animation, but you also look at this today and think he looks so much closer to the original animation. Here's his original toy as well. So an amazing change, but at the same time, you know who it is. It's just that it looks a whole lot better. What do you guys think of these two? They're incredible with all these accessories as well. And they're my last two. I am so excited. I finished my Thundercat collection. Let's take a look at what I chose to represent. You might have to imagine the satisfaction an adult collector like me feels when they perfectly represent, one of my favorite franchises made famous in the 1980s. That was the Thundercats, and here they are, and it's complete, and it feels good, and they look great. Well, there is that vintage Mum-Ra playset I've been looking at. Maybe for Christmas. What do you think? What do you think of my collection? What do you think of Super 7 Ultimates Thundercats? Like I said, I'm done. I have them all the ones I want to represent. I don't need those other characters, as fantastic as they are, and if you're a completist, more power to you. I've got some other things to get done, but I like what I've got, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing them close up and getting to kind of live vicariously through these videos, these unboxing and reveals of the Thundercats. A fantastic brand, a great IP, and maybe you collect them too. So who's your favorite of the entire Thundercats? And maybe it's one of the mutants. I know Mum-Ra is pretty high up there. So please remember to like so YouTube can show this video to a lot more people. And you really help me out by subscribing. So yeah, and don't forget, coming soon on PopCon, a salute to all pop culture, but mostly the 80s. A couple G.I. Joe classifieds. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Or even another Motu Origins. You know, I got room on the shelf for them. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. Until next time.